You're listening to Steph, Rach, and Bridget. And so we've got fitness versus fatness, which is our next topic.
Yeah.
Are people getting fitter or are they getting fatter? Because there's a lot of gyms that have been popping up. But you can go...
It's a new craze.
5 metres and there's, gym.
Fit and fast.
24-hour
gyms.
5 metres and there's plus fitness. I don't agree with 24-hour gyms. We'll get to that later. Anyway... there's just so many gym chains
mentioning it. Yeah.
that have just popped up, and heaps of people are like, I go to the gym all the time, blah 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 blah. So I think because there's this whole thing about fast food, everybody's getting fatter and blah blah blah, that heaps more people are working out. But I think it's
and eating healthier as well. There's been a huge emphasis on eating healthy.
Yeah,
there's been a shift.
Yeah.
I think not as many people want to go to
healthy.
Macca's, say.
Yeah, but then Macca's are trying to latch on to those people still like, we do salad now!
Yeah.
Eat our salad!
There's lettuce in our burgers!
You don't go to Macca's for a salad. I go to Macca's to get greasy food. I don't go very often. But
no, I don't go very often either anymore. But, so what I said before though was, I think fit people are getting fitter.
Yes.
And fat people are getting fatter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because once you start exercising... You don't want to stop exercising. You feel really good after you exercise for a while.
Until
there's
definitely
you might be
a point,
in pain, but it's a good pain.
Yeah.
There's a point where it's not a good pain, and where you do want to stop exercising, and it was at about the 30-kilometre mark.
Yeah, but if you do regular exercise, like you go to a class every week, or you just go to the gym, you go on the treadmill, you do whatever.
Yep.
It makes you feel good, and then you don't want to eat that greasy food. So then your health just keeps going up, Because I remember when I was really fit. Yes, there was a time I was really fit. I didn't want to eat that junk food anymore because it just makes you feel gross. And I don't feel gross all the time. I don't want to eat that anymore. I don't want to feel gross. But I think people who eat gross food all the time don't know what feeling good feels like, so they keep eating gross food.
But they like the food.
Well, I liked the food too, but it does make you feel gross and greasy.
Every now and again, you just want a burger, and you don't want to have to make it or wait for it to be made. You just want it there.
Yes.
Yeah. You do end up kind of craving a little bit of Coke sometimes, and,
I don't think I could shake the bad food. I have very bad eating habits.
Yeah, see, I was like that as well, though.
I used to have really bad eating habits.
I thought it would be harder
than it was. You don't anymore?
Oh, not as bad as I did. Like, I was really bad.
Yeah, Rachel was really, really bad.
Yeah. Major part of your diet was chicken.
Well, major part of Rachel's diet is still chicken. Chicken's not bad.
I eat a lot of chicken.
like KFC and McDonald's and stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, you think it'd be really hard to give it all that kind of stuff up.
Yes.
It's not, though. Once you start feeling good, like once you start exercising, it's not hard to give it up. I thought it would be really hard. And
I bet you've got like plenty of alternatives as well.
Yeah.
That are also quick and easy and simple. It's easier to not go for the fast food.
Definitely. And once you start feeling like, I want to work out all the time, you don't really want it anymore. Like, once you stop eating it, like, I went months and months without eating KFC or McDonald's or anything like that. Subway I still had.
I can do that fine.
Yeah.
It's other stuff that I have a problem with. Like
what?
Like... Chocolate.
I never stopped eating chocolate.
Chocolate mousse, to be specific.
This is the thing. I never stopped eating chocolate. I was really fit, and at one point I weighed like 53 kilos, and I was just like, starting to look quite masculine. And yes, everybody will vouch for that. There's some photos of me at a wedding where like my tricep is like popping out of my dress and stuff. It does not look good. But I did not stop eating chocolate still, and that's why I didn't have like the abs. You have to really eat good, eat well to have like that whole six-pack going on.
But I guess, so you've got like the healthy people who get healthy, eat healthy, and stay healthy.
And then there's the people who eat bad food and just keep eating bad food, and they never
I guess it's like the people who don't know
what it's like to be healthy.
They don't know what it's like to be healthy, or they don't know that they're unhealthy.
Yeah.
Because, you've got people who are telling you, oh, you're perfect the way you are, you don't need to be a size whatever.
But you don't, you don't need to be a size 8 or a size 6 to be healthy. You can be a size 10 or 12. But
size 6 can be...
very unhealthy.
Yeah.
Depending on who you are and your body size and all that kind of stuff. If you're a small person, then, But,
it varies.
Yeah, it really does. But that's what I mean. It varies for, size 12 can be healthy as well. You just have to make sure
that's an average size,
yeah, you just have to make sure you're not eating bad food all the time. You have to make sure you're doing some exercise, and that kind of stuff. If you're doing those things, then you're not unhealthy. You can look like whatever you want to look like, but you're not unhealthy.
But you can't become like overweight and then say, oh, but I'm happy with who I am and I'm, you know, healthy, but I'm just not one of those models. Like, no, that's still unhealthy.
Well, it depends on how overweight you... Well, yeah, it depends on how overweight you are, really. Because if you're like a kilo overweight, it's not really going to affect you if you're eating properly. You might just be eating a lot, which is still not that great for you. But, you know what I mean? You don't have to be...
Like, people who go on, like, The Biggest Loser, let's talk about
That's
that.
not healthy.
Yeah.
That whole thing is not healthy.
People who are unhealthy but who don't realise that they're unhealthy, who don't realise that they do need to lose weight.
They must realise.
Oh, they know.
Yeah.
But by the time you get to that point, and I think to get to that point, it's a real psychological thing. It's like, you know, they have this kind of relationship with food. But I'm talking about The Biggest Loser itself as a show. It is a really unhealthy way to lose weight. Because these people, they're really, really big. And then they're thrown into this house where their body is shocked into this diet, straight up, and all this exercise for hours a day. And they lose massive amounts of weight in very short periods of time, which is not good for your body. Not at all.
I don't know how the trainer, like, I've never watched the show, but how the trainers can do it. Like, I mean, I guess they really love money, but it's so unhealthy.
It really is bad. It's really, really bad.
But think about all the people that it inspires to lose weight.
Yeah, you can do it, but you have to do it in the right way. Those people on Biggest Loser, they can lose weight. There's nothing telling them that they can't besides themselves, and they need this show to push them and stuff like that. But
it's a lifestyle change, not
you can't just,
a quick fix.
Yeah, you can't just be thrown into something completely different and then go back to your normal life and expect
Also,
to keep it up.
I think the difference is that it is really controlled.
Yeah.
And you've only got access to a certain amount of food, whereas in the real world...
they're in that house.
The one show that I do like, though, is it's Extreme Makeover Weight Loss Edition.
Yeah,
That
I've
is
seen
a
that
good
one
show
too.
because there's one trainer, and he works with one person over a year.
That's a bit better, yeah.
And it's in the real world, and about halfway, the trainer leaves, and this person has to continue.
In the
on their
beginning,
own.
I think it's like in the first 3 months, he takes them to a place of like a facility or something, and he works with them there. He works on changing their diet and stuff like that. The next phase, they go home, and he works with them at home.
Yeah.
And he makes sure that at their house they have the right food, they're doing their exercise, and he gives them their routine.
Yep.
Then he leaves for a while and makes sure. Then after that they keep up, and they have different goals. You have to lose this amount of weight by this time, and then you'll get this.
Yeah.
And by the end, if you've made the weight loss that you want, you get the skin removal surgery to get rid of all the loose skin, because these are really big people.
Okay.
So I think that's a better show because that teaches a change in habit over that period of time. It's more likely that those people are going to keep their weight off, rather than The Biggest Loser, however many months of just shock, into that kind of thing. But
we've had some feedback from Facebook. Dave has said that it's a bit of both, people getting fitter and fatter, and Charles has said that in the younger generations, there's more of an emphasis on fitness, and that sort of healthy body image.
Yeah, but it's also not good that they're taking a lot of sports out of schools now.
Yeah,
like more.
But even like we had to do bowling. I don't know how many times I have to say it, but that's not a sport.
Bowling is not a sport.
They need to make. If they're going to make kids do sport, they need to make kids. They need to make kids do actual athletic sports in schools.
Yeah, instead of what we did, bocce. Really, that's not a sport.
Yeah,
we did bowling,
and then at a certain point, you just didn't even have to do sport if you were doing the right classes.
We had to do hospitality. Stuff.
We didn't get sport in year 11 and 12 because we were eating.
We were cooking, eating food. It was good.
It was good. Good food.
Yes.
But, like stuff like that, like belly dancing, okay, maybe people might be interested in it, but it wasn't any kind of strenuous exercise in any way.
I had to go to aerobics, which sounds better than those things, but we were less than energetic.
Yeah. Aerobics, if done right, can be really good for you.
Aerobics, if done like we did, we were just standing there.
They should have just made us do laps around the oval.
What? I want something like I do boxercise once a week.
That's pretty good. Yeah. We could have done something like that at school.
It's so much better than just going on a treadmill or just running laps. That's just boring. That's why I can't go to the gym anymore. I have to do something.
Yeah. And I never really went to a gym. I never did classes because I need someone to tell me, you have to be doing this right now. Drop and give me 30 push-ups.
I tried. I said you have to walk faster right now so we can get to the next checkpoint.
I'm not getting into this right now. Anyway.
Let go.
Yeah, I think that's the problem with school sports, though. They're not interesting.
They're not athletic enough.
And they're not interesting. Like, you have to have that kind of balance between what's fun and not that, power walking was any fun or that we walked very fast.
That sounds so boring.
Yoga on the days it was raining.
I like Pilates,
I like yoga,
though.
actually. But anyway.
I've never done yoga. I've only done Pilates.
I remember mountain warrior pose.
Mountain pose. Mountain warrior pose.
They also do have a problem, though. Like, they probably couldn't do anything like boxercise. It has to be safe.
Well, we did self-defense. And there was punching in that.
Not a lot, though. I wouldn't call that
Did you remember
what we did
self-defense?
athletic, though.
Not.
We did self-defense.
We did self-defense, yeah.
I never did that.
Well, maybe you got one of the sports you actually chose. Like,
I never chose aerobics or being
But
yelled
you-
at by that guy on the bike.
you did get
Summer.
ice skating. You did get ice skating.
I did get ice. I think I got ice skating twice.
When we had
I
squash,
never did ice
which we
skating.
didn't
Oh,
choose.
I got
and
squash as well.
And we were playing pool instead of playing squash.
There were only
Yeah, I
about
played
3
pool and I
courts.
threw
We couldn't
the
all
ball
play
at
it
the
once.
fans.
Yeah.
Oh. Anyway, this isn't about school sport. I think in maybe like a few years' time, like when our generation is sort of middle-aged and everything, people are going to be a lot healthier.
I think so too, because people are really kind of drilling it into us now that, you
Yeah.
have to be fit, you have to be healthy, blah, 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 exercise, blah, 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 blah.
We might be fit, but we're just going to be hunched over,
Oh, we got
blind,
that stuff.
and deaf.
That's true. Loud music,
Oh.
always staring at screens.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I think
Me
that
especially.
after this next generation, but it's also taught as well, because your parents have to have good habits for you to
Yeah.
have good habits. And I think you see it in a lot of fit people have, well, not fit people, healthy people have healthy kids.
I just reminded of that Simpsons episode. Have you ever wondered why Chinese parents have Chinese children, or why fat parents have fat children?
But I think, the healthy people have healthy kids. You have to teach. It's kind of the Spartan thing as well. If you have a healthy mother and a healthy father, you're gonna have a healthy child.
Yes.
And chuck the bad babies off the cliff. No, don't do that.
Don't do that.
No,
we don't condone
Keep
that.
your children.
Yeah.
Because if we chuck them off a cliff, we
need more immigrants.
We need more immigrants.
Oh, what a conundrum.
Yeah, but I think gradually we're getting fitter. I think at the moment most people, well, I don't think most people are, pudgy, but
Yeah.
at the moment a lot of people are
There's a lot
overweight.
of pressure to be fit. Not to be thin, but to be fit.
Yeah, and I think that's the emphasis now, because people are kind of moving away from being really, really stick thin, because that was, a couple,
Yeah.
maybe about 10 years ago, all the models were just like,
Yeah.
size zeros and basically skeletons walking. And they're kind of moving away from that now to being fit and a little bit muscular, which is kind of what everybody's aiming for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I think is much better than being a walking skeleton.
Yeah.
Heaps better.
Yeah, 'cause
So it's just about trying to sort of
find a balance. Maybe.
find a balance between the,
I think
loving
models,
yourself at whatever shape and size, but also being
being
fit.
healthy. Yeah.
models, though, they've always been really... Well, not always. There was, what was her name? Cindy Crawford? She's
Yeah,
not...
But she was pretty thin though.
She's thin, but she's not like some of the skeletons you see.
Kate Moss.
Yeah. But they're really just meant to be like a coat hanger. They're a human coat hanger.
Yeah.
Their clothes are just meant to fall
Yeah.
like they would on the rack.
Yeah, I don't understand that, really. Because aren't you supposed to be able to see what they look like on?
Why don't they just have a
person?
moving, like a machine with a...
With like this clothes, like a tie, like a
Yeah, like
tie
one of
rack.
those dry
Like
clean.
that wardrobe in Clueless. Why don't they just have that?
Rotate past. You wouldn't have to pay the models.
It's so good. I mean, they'd have maintenance for the machine. But
I just imagine all the posh people sitting there like, oh yes, that's very nice, very nice. And there's just
Ooh,
clothes
a
spinning past.
purple coat hanger.
Indeed, that sets those clothes off really well.
Yes.
We'll be back after this. This is TBACR 100.9 FM.